beautiful turtles. Bruiser in front was less than about 5 pounds when he came in last November. He now weighs in at least double that. Gunst on the right takes 2 people to hold right now. He initially weighed in also at about 5 pounds 3 years ago, and yesterday or today he weighed in at about 25 pounds.
Hello, I'm Kathy Zagzebski. I'm the President and Executive Director of the National Marine Life Center in Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. At the National Marine Life Center, we're an independent nonprofit organization. We have a threefold mission: marine animal rehabilitation, science, and education. And when we can, when it's safe to do so for both animals and people, we do like to make our releases public. In part, these animals are our heritage as Cape Codders. They strand here, and we want to be able to share this success story with our friends, neighbors, and visitors to our place. Sometimes we're not able to. Sometimes the animals physical condition, even if they're healed, they're very stressed out by people, so we don't want that to happen. Sometimes we physically can't even find a location that can accommodate a lot of people. We are very grateful today to the town of Barnstable, the Craigville Beach staff, and also the police department for helping us out and allowing us to use this wonderful, wonderful beach for the sea turtles. Gunst is a really cool turtle. So Gunst has actually been the turtle that's been with us the longest. He originally stranded in November of 2015, and he stranded cold stunned out in Brewster. He was rescued by Mass Audubon at Wellfleet and triaged at the New England Aquarium's Turtle Hospital up in Quincy, and then brought to us a few weeks later. And he initially, we treated him initially for the cold stun, the hypothermia condition. So we had to give him fluids, help build up his strength, give him some antibiotics, some antifungals, and address pneumonia and other types of health issues. But once he started healing from the cold stunning, then unfortunately, Gunst developed a secondary health complication that we see occasionally in the cold stun turtles, and those were a bone disease, bone lesions, or bone infection called osteolysis or osteolytic lesions. And it happens in some percent of the cold stun turtles because the cold actually cuts off the blood supply to their joints. And he had a very severe case. It was in both front flippers and multiple joints in his front flippers. So we initially tried supportive care, because sometimes it will heal on its own with adequate support. That didn't work. He continued to exhibit stiffness in his flippers. The next thing we tried, we took him up to the Tufts University Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine, where they helped us out with a CT scan, and that's really helpful in basically being able to see the infection within the bone and confirm if it's still there and things like that. And it showed that he had some very serious case of the infection. Our veterinarian then collaborated with Dr. Innes, the veterinarian at the New England Aquarium, who's been successful in surgically treating some of these animals. So Dr. Williams and Dr. Innes performed surgery on Gunst, and that was successful. It removed some of the infection so that the bone could then heal. It was just a very long process after the surgery. It's been almost a year and a half since surgery, and we had to give him physical therapy to actually physically move the flipper. Once it healed, it was still very stiff. Recently, about 2 months ago, we took him back up to Tufts for another CT scan that showed that it was healing. Some residual stiffness to his flipper we think was just because he hadn't been used to using it. So we did a resurgence of the physical therapy. At this point, he had grown, and he was eating well, swimming well. And he finally, we weren't sure, but then we caught him when he thought we couldn't see him. We caught him using both front flippers. So we're excited that, and confirmed by the CT scan, that he is healed and ready to go back in the wild. I hope the public learns from a sea turtle release like this. Sea turtles are a great conservation story. These animals are all endangered. The Kemp's Ridley turtles that we saw today released are the most endangered sea turtle in the world, and the reason they're endangered is because of us. It started with numbers being dramatically impacted by certain fishing practices, trawling and the like. Then development practices, so building on beaches that turtles would otherwise nest on. Now one of the biggest dangers to turtles is plastic, and we all share responsibility for the plastic trash that we put in the ocean. In the water, a plastic bag looks a lot like a jellyfish, which is one of these turtles' favorite foods. Even smaller pieces of plastic, microplastic, is everywhere. And so we need to address that problem of plastic in order to help both animals and us. So at the National Marine Life Center, we have a small visitor center, a marine animal discovery center. We're open daily throughout the summer through Labor Day, weekends through Columbus Day, and then select days throughout the year, including February and April vacation week. Most of the time we are free for the public. We do have certain days that are special fundraising days, so at that point we charge a modest fee. We have a visitor center that includes information about marine animals, strandings, sea turtles, seals, whales, dolphins, porpoises, the kind of animals that we see here that we treat at the National Marine Life Center, or that we will treat at the National Marine Life Center one day. And we have, most fun, I think, for everybody is that we have a live camera into our hospital. So for the safety of our wildlife patients, many of whom are very critically ill, get very stressed out by people, we really limit public interaction with them. We even limit our own interaction with them to try to keep them as wild as possible. But the public can see them at our visitor center by coming and visiting us throughout the year, or throughout the summer, and other times throughout the year. We also do offer behind-the-scenes tours periodically, and those are always advertised on our website and our Facebook page. So I'd just like to remind people, helping these animals is a collaboration. We work very closely with other nonprofit organizations. In the case of turtles, the Mass Audubon at Wellfleet and the New England Aquarium, and we all have a role to play in helping keep these animals safe. The National Marine Life Center is a nonprofit organization. We can only do this work with public support, and it's all of our responsibility to take care of these wonderful animals. So you can learn more about events like our education programs or our behind-the-scenes tours on our National Marine Life Center's website at www.nmlc.org.